everyone, welcome to PoliticAL with me, Alexandra Acker-Lyons. I pay attention to the political news so you don't have to. This is the advice I give to my millionaire clients and you get it for free. It is Friday, September 26th. I'm a little under the weather, so going to try to keep this one short. In candidate news, we saw some polling this week showing the New Jersey gubernatorial race is a dead heat. The poll has been a little bit debunked, but we have seen this race tighten. Mikey Sherrill's gotten some criticism over her debate performance and kind of waffling on some answers. I've been saying all along, I think New Jersey will probably be closer than Virginia at the end. It swung pretty hard right last year and has been trending that way. So have to make sure that Mikey wins, have to make sure that she wins big, go knock some doors, make some phone calls, give some more money if you can. Also saw that State Representative Ed Crockett, who is a Democrat, is going to run as an independent for Maine governor. And not exactly sure what that is going to mean, how much support he might actually draw. But Maine does have a history of kind of liking independents, liking some outsiders. So we'll see what that does. And then in Wisconsin, which is now an open governor's race, on the Democratic side, Kelda Roys and Brett Hulsey have announced. And on the Republican side, Congressman Tom Tiffany, who is widely expected to jump into this race, made it official this week. So very competitive primaries on both sides. I think we'll see some additional candidates get in on both sides, but certainly keeping an eye on that perennial purple state. Couple of races that are happening this November that I want to call attention to. The first is the Georgia Public Service Commission, which right now has 5 Republicans, but we have the opportunity to elect 2 Democrats. And not only are these roles really important in terms of setting utility rates and how much clean energy the state's going to use, this is a great test heading into 2026 when Senator John Ossoff is up for re-election and when we have an open governor's race and open secretaries of state race. So thank you to our friends at Oath for also drawing attention to that, and I'll put the donation link in the notes. And then the Pennsylvania State Supreme Court, I think we've all had paid way more attention to state Supreme Court races in the last few years in Wisconsin, North Carolina, and others. So Pennsylvania has 3 what are called retention elections this fall. That means that the justices have been appointed and then the voters get to decide whether to retain them or reject them. They just have to get 50% of the vote to be retained. But Republicans are dumping a ton of money, upwards of $5 million already, to try to get voters to reject these justices, which we currently have a 5-2 Democratic majority on the state Supreme Court. That would mean that there would be 3 open seats. And so we need to spend a little money now in order to prevent having 3 open seat races down the road. I'll also put that donation link in the notes. Other political news, obviously we saw just tremendous corruption coming out of the Trump administration this week. Every week really, but this week was a real banger, where Trump essentially fired the district attorney in Eastern Virginia, installed one of his former attorneys, who happens to be beautiful and happens to have no prosecutorial experience, to go after James Comey. And James Comey was indicted. Hopefully a judge will throw this out right away. And it's not like I love James Comey. We're up on the 9-year anniversary of him saying that he was reopening the Hillary Clinton email fiasco, and he created all kinds of drama around that, so not a fan. But this is just blatant corruption, retaliatory against critics, and is just a pattern with him of you said something mean about me, I'm gonna indict you. And also signed an executive order saying he's going to come after organizations that have funded domestic terrorism, air quotes, very intentional. That's actually not an actual designation. He is just trying to go after left-leaning groups and funders. which, we've been preparing for this for months, and we will see what comes of it. Hopefully very little, and all of this will get thrown out. But they are certainly using every tool in their toolbox, and we are in it. This is one of those weeks that's going to be written about in history books, so buckle up. Speaking of books, I finished reading Kamala's book, 107 Days. It's really good. Of course, it has, some revisionist history, but what really strikes me is she really comes through in this book. And if you have been fortunate enough to spend any time with her, as I have, you immediately sense her warmth, how smart she is, how funny she is, and just how much she cares. And that really comes through. And it just breaks my heart that it didn't come through on the campaign. And I don't know if it's because she only had 107 days. I don't know if it's because, we weren't going to the right podcast or whatever. But it's hard. It's hard to read it, but it's very good, and it's well organized, and I like the format. So highly recommend. And then my shout out of the week goes to my colleagues at Women Count and Electing Women, especially ISIS, who put together an incredible Zoom last night with 100 people and 10 different candidates running for the Virginia State Legislature, and our special guest star, Connie Britton. She's amazing. And these are also, races that are a little under the radar. There's a 1-seat majority in the Virginia State House right now, and we need to make sure that these awesome women win. So I'll put that donation link in the notes as well. Have a great weekend. Talk next week.